this is a freestyle that was recorded, so I decided to use it for the tutorial. It's just a freestyle, so don't pay too much attention to the words, but just pay attention to the vocal and the melody and everything. So let's listen to the song first.
Melody, 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 yeah. Man, give me ginger. All of my crews ready for shit. Smoking on back in no be Rizla. Back when I did wear a sneaker. Oh, oh. She don't buy Pima. All of my niggas ready for cheetah. Smoking on back here, we don't do Rizla. Shout out all my niggas with this, so yeah. But the man I live the cutter. People to see them, I don't wishing better, feel the butter, yeah. I was
All right, so you can hear how the vocal is sounding. So this is how the vocal was recorded. So I'm going to show you how we can take it from this to a very, professional, amazing vocal that you could, put out there and people will enjoy your music. So without wasting time, just follow me as I go. I might not be, talking much, but I will take every step, you know, bit by bit and break it down, and you can grab something. All right, first of all, pitch correction. We have to add a pitch correction to the vocal. And in a pitch correction, what I'm using is X Pitch by Nuru Audio. So this is a very nice pitch correction plugin. What I did here, I pick a preset called Modern Pop Vocal. So I added it. It has this modern vocal, settings that you could hear on every popular song. Then I pick the key of the song, of the beat, which is F minor, and then the rest is just the way it is. So nothing crazy about it. You could do this on other autotune plugins that you are using. If you want to, understand how to pick or set up your autotune for a recording session, I could do a video about that, but this is not going to be focusing on that. But the first thing is autotune. Put the key of the song in, your scale, and then you set your return speed and the rest, and then you are good to go. So let's listen to it after the autotune.
I was in a kind of color. I bet them beat them on us in the pan. I feel the pot up. Right. Man, I mean no loving now. Be in the middle, but I can't mean a lot of far. Been a let them out. Shot him in a hand of car. Been a Santa post. I done been a better Lord. Yeah. Ooh, baby. Remember.
So you could tell after the autotune, the vocal is sounding very, very melodic, more, connected to the beat, and it is more sounding interesting. So that's the first thing you need to do most of the time you want to mix a vocal, especially a singing vocal. You got to make sure your vocal is on key. Then let's go to the main plugins, because I've created group here. You can see group one here. I've created group, and inside this group, that's where everything went down. So the first thing I add here is NS1 from Wave. And what NS1 does is to suppress the background noise of the vocal. So sometimes you might have recorded in a very dirty place where there is noisy or untreated room. So sometimes this noise suppressors kind of take down those background, noise and everything, and make your vocal come out more smooth up in your face. So let's see what it sounds like after the noise suppression.
You know, back here we don't do Rizla. Shout out all my niggas with this, so yeah. By the man I live the cutter. People to see them, I don't wishing better, feel the butter, yeah. I was in a kind of color. I bet them beat them on us in the pan. I feel the pot up, right. Man, I mean no loving now. This in the middle, but I can't mean a lot of.
You could tell after the noise suppression, the vocal sound more clean, more very, in your face, like there's no too much noise around it. It's very clean. So the next thing I use is Xbox Pro. Xvox Pro is like a vocal strip plugin. It's all in one. I think I've used it in some of my other videos. It's all in one plugin that you could use to, transform your vocal with one click. You don't have to know much about vocal editing or mixing, but before then, you still have to have knowledge about it. So I had this Xbox Pro, and I will not go in and break it down in detail, but I picked a preset. The preset name is Classic Vocal Strip. So I added that preset and I did some tweaking. I added some pitch wider. I did some tweaking and then it sounds like this.
A lot of far, been a lot of more, shining man, I had a car, been a Santa post, I done been a better Lord, yeah. Ooh, baby, when my mind is feeling so good, baby. You know when you ride it, I go crazy.
All right, let's do A and B. There is a lot of transformation going on here, so it might be confusing, but let me off it and let's listen without it.
You know I go crazy like a nani, yeah. Better give me ginger. All of my niggas ready for shit. Smoking on back here, we don't do
Let me on it.
I be wearing trousers, I know be nigga. Oh no, shit on by Beamer. All of my niggas ready for shit. Smoking on back.
So it's like night and day, but you can't just go with this. So there are more to do to make sure the vocal is stable. What is going on here is that it added a compressor here, it added DSR, and it added EQ. You can see this EQ yeah. Then you can see space where there's reverb and delay, and then you can see SFX where I added pitch widener. But that is not going to be all. But from here you can tell the vocal is sounding sweet. But the next thing I did was to add an EQ. So I used the Pro Q tray, which is here, the Pro Q tray. And what I did there is to take off the low around close to this 100 hertz and then take off some of the boxy area off, and nothing crazy here. Mind you, if your vocal is neat, you don't have to do anything crazy on EQing it up and down. The first thing is that when you're recording a song, make sure you are recording the vocal the way you would like to hear it at the end of the song. So take note of this. Most of the time you record vocal in a very bad way and expect it to sound very nice at the end. It won't sound nice. You have to make sure the vocal is recorded the way you would want it to sound at the final stage of the song, so that you don't have to struggle to make it sound nice at the end. It's just like fun when you are mixing it. So there is the EQ. Let's listen to with the EQ.
By the man, I little cutter. Be by the see the mother, wishing better, feel the butter. Yeah. I was in a kind of color. I better be the butters in the pan, I feel the butter. Right. But I mean no love enough. It's in the middle, but I can't mean a lot of.
Okay, if you notice the vocal is sounding smooth, but it's not stable. There are places that are a little bit jumping higher. So we are going to come to that. But then I added DSR. The DSR is from Wave DSR, and it is simple. I just put it on full reset, then I bring it down until it start catching those harsh high end frequencies. Then I leave it there. So let's listen to it. Let's listen to it.
A lot of far, been a lot of more, shining man, I had a car, been a Santa post, I done been a better Lord, yeah. Ooh, baby, when my mind is feeling so good, baby. You know when you ride it, I go crazy.
All right, you could tell it kind of make the vocal sound more smoother after taking off those harsh high frequencies, and the vocal sound a bit smoother and more stable. But then here is the little trick. Here is the little trick, and very important. Most of the time I like using multi-band compressor. Most of the time you might want to use multiband compressor because why? Sometimes you want to attend to some frequencies on the vocal in their respective way without affecting the overall vocal. So what you do is to add multiband compressor to still control some of the frequencies that you want to control. This guy is a very good singer. So what I did here is just simple. I added the presets here. This is a C6, by the way, is from Wave C6 multiband compressor. So I added the de-esser B here, and what I did here, what it's doing is just controlling the high end. So if you observe here, let me play it, let me solo it, and you listen to it.
Oh yeah. By the man out in the corner, be by the see the motto, wishing better feel the butter. Yeah. I was in a kind of call up. I better be the models in the pound, I feel the butter. Right. Man.
So you can tell what is going on. It is controlling those harsh frequencies. If you observe, the vocal is not really jumping out of space that much because it is ducking down all those places that are on the high frequency that is trying to jump out of, the vocal. So it kind of keep vocal a little bit even if it is still dynamic. You can hear the up and down of the volume, but at the same time it's very very like even. You can't notice too much differences on the high and the low again. So it's kind of controlling that on those places. Then the last thing I had here is a compressor. This is our compressor from Wave, and what I did here is just simple. I'm bringing down the threshold around 18, the ratio around 2, then the attack around 5. Then I'm not even adding gain because the vocal already have gain from the Xvox Pro, so it has already gained there from there, so I don't have to add gain. I kind of like the way the vocal is sitting, so I just try to compress to make it sound a little bit more, fit in the beat or sit on the beat. So let's listen to how it sounds with all this we have done.
I don't mean no loving now. It's in the middle, but I can't mean a lot of far. Been a lot of mouth, shining man, I had a guard. Been a Santa post, I done been a better law. Yeah. Ooh, baby, when my mind is in so good, baby. You know when you ride it, I go crazy. You know I go crazy like I know need, yeah. Man, give me ginger. All of my niggas ready for shit. Smoking on back here, we don't do Rizla. I be wearing trousers, I know be nigga. Oh no, shit on buy.
All right, this is beautiful. This is very very simple. If you record your vocal well, you could use this method to make your vocal sound nice, but this is not all. This is a very basic way of approaching it, but if you know what you are doing, this will give you a very good result depending on your recording setup, your microphone, and your sound card, and the environment you're recording. As far as you are conscious of what you are working on, you could get a very beautiful vocal. This is very simple. I think this is one of the most simplest approach to making your vocal sound nice. And what I did here, after I added L2 on the master and just add a little gain of 5 dB, and so just to make it sound nice, and it is sounding this way, nothing crazy. This is very basic, and it sounds very cool. So we are going to do A and B. So listen to it on. Let me strip off all the effects that I've used so that we can be able to. All right, so let's listen without the effects.
Wanna color, let's go. Oh, oh. Better give me ginger. All of my niggas ready for shit. Smoking on back here, we don't do Rizla. Shout out all my niggas where they hold me down. J don't buy Pima. All of my niggas where they catch ya. Smoking on back here, no be Rizla.
So that's the raw vocal. So let's listen with the effect on the same section of the mix. turn it on, turn the auto tune on. Let's listen.
Up in the cutter, it's so out of feeling when the color. Let's go, whoa, whoa. Better give me ginger. All of my niggas ready for shita. Smoking on Baki, we don't do Rizla. Shout out all my niggas where they hold me down. J don't buy Dima. All of my niggas where they catch ya. Smoking on Baki, no be Rizla. Shorty say she wanna take my sneaker. Oh no, and 2+2, you know before. Make you know for streets, no be so. I'm a Lou, you gonna go. Be on the beast, on the floor, yeah.
All right, that was it. It's a quick tutorial on how you could approach your vocal mixing and get a very good result. I could do more if I want to mix this in a more professional way. I could add more stuff. So I could do a lot, but I'm just telling you that you don't need to do too crazy stuff to make your vocal sound good. Sometimes less is more, sometimes more is less, but it all depends. But if your vocal is recorded right, you don't need to do too much to make your vocal sounds sweet. That's it. You sing on key, you record with a good microphone, you record with in a very quiet place, no noise. Then the rest is going to be fun, and your beat has to be mixed. By the way, this beat is not even mixed, but it still sound good. So that's it for this video. So if you have learned one or two, please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. And if you have more ideas on what we are doing here, you could drop your own suggestions, and maybe we could still do something on our next video. And if you want a kind of video, you can also request. Maybe if it is something I can go over, I will make a video about it. So peace out, and once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.